Good morning. What a glorious October day. You couldn't ask for better weather. I don't even know why I've got my jumper on. I've just walked up the wall and I'm sweating like anything. It is absolutely glorious down here. So what is the plan for today? Well, conditions like this, it's got to be targeting those autumn plaice. I'd be lucky to get a sole with it being so sunny, but you never know. There might be one or two of them swimming around, but I'm going to have one rod out for the plaice with a 3-hook rig on there, which we'll have a look at in a minute. And the other rod, as usual, I'm going to be fishing close in down that V to see if we can pick anything up there. So we'll take a look at the bait. All we have today is some black lug. These were pumped about 5 days ago, so they're pretty old. Certainly the last day I'd want to come out and use them. Some people I know, they swear by 5-day-old lug, but me, I like it fresh. So there we go. I've got 5 wraps of these. If I give them a slap, it just about starts to toughen up still. So definitely not in that prime, but that's what we have because the tides are absolutely miniature at the moment. They're probably the worst tides of the whole year today. So why did I come out fishing? Because it beats being at home. Anyway, we're going to get set up. I've got my 2-piece Zenon low diameter rod here with me, which I do like using down the marina. Looks like it could do with a clean, to be honest. So that's going to have my Penn Fathom 15 put on it, and that's the rod we're going to use for the plaice. And I also have, for fishing close in, my Tronics Pro 3-piece competition performance rod, and that is going to be paired with my Shimano Ultegra 14,000 reel, which I have here. So that's good to go. So I'll get the reels on the rods, then I'll bring you back, we'll take a look at the rigs. See you in a minute. So we have the first rig ready to go. This is my 3-hook loop rig clipped down. The snoods are 18 inches long and I've loaded the hooks there with beautiful black lug. So you can see all that clipped up. I splashed down at the bottom, what did I say, 18-inch snoods, 6-ounce grip lead, and that is ready to be chucked out. The hooks are size 2 super matches, and this is the rig I'm hoping is going to pick up that plaice or perhaps another species. So we're going to get this one launched out, and when I've got this cast out, we will take a look at the other rod and the rig I'm going to chuck on there down the side. So we're good to go. So that's gone about 75 yards. So the plaice down here tend to be a little bit further out, although I have picked them up 20 yards out as well. But we're going to keep going out there with a bit of distance on it to start with, at least, to see if we can pick up any of those lovely fat autumn spotty plaice. And as always, I'm going to put on my ratchet and get that drag set just in case something better comes along. So there we go, that is out there. And as usual, I've made sure to put my rod down on that little bit of foam just to protect the blank. So that one's out. In a minute, we'll take a look at the other one. Well, I've got the second rod set up. This is the one that's going down the side. I've got a 3-hook flapper on here. At the bottom end, I've got a 6-ounce plain lead. This is a hybrid lead from Shorecast. I've got very short little 6-inch snoods and size 6 hooks on there. I've baited each of them with half a worm. And this one here is fishing below the lead, so down near the bottom. Got quite a long rig body on this, so I can spread my snoods out to fish at different depths. And there we go, that's the middle hook, exactly the same, 8-inch snood, size 6 hook. And then all the way up at the top, exactly the same again. And because I use my rig gum stops on here, I can experiment moving these snoods about to fish at different depths as the day goes on. So let's get this one gently put out there because we want it to be nice and close in by the wall. I can almost underarm this, in fact I think I will, because I want it nice and close in to start with. There we are. That's about 5 yards out from the wall, that is, maybe less, which is just where I wanted it. So the leader is still actually in the eyes of my rod. Well, that close in, so get the drag set. There we are. Pop that down. and we have 2 rods out fishing. Now, what I haven't told you yet is Alex is with us again today. We didn't put him off on, well, we were fishing a few days ago. So he's come back to have another go, and hopefully today there'll be some fish. He's having a little chuckle in the background there while he's busy baiting up. We're using 3-hook flapper, 2-hook flapper, 2-hook flapper with a bit of lug, and he's got some squid as well today. So he's got more bait choice than I have. So we shall see how it goes. Anyway, we'll bring you back in a little bit. Well, the Plaice rig has been out a little while, so it's time to check the baits. I haven't seen any sign of a bite, but we're pretty much on low water right now. And with this venue, I'd expect the fishing to pick up maybe half an hour, 40 minutes after low. So we shall see, but I haven't seen any touches on here, so it'd be interesting to see how much bait we've got left on the end. But it is absolutely glorious down here. As I said earlier, you can't believe it's the middle of October. And I'm down here without my jumper on. So as usual, I've got £20 green, oh, here comes the dredger. £20 green Plaice line on my reel with a Zen and tapered shock leader. Here we go, here comes the leader knot. Right, let's see what's happened to these baits, if anything. Well, something has had a go at the bottom hook there. Let's take a look. So we can see that bait. Looks like something's had a suck at that, which is a sign of flatfish. So maybe we will have a Plaice later. The same thing's happened to the middle hook though, not to such a great extent. You can see there, the top hook completely untouched there. So hopefully when the tide picks up a bit, if they are flatties out there having a little suck on these worms, they'll get a bit more vigorous and take the bait down so we can pick one up. Now I've got another rig baited up, ready to go, so we'll get this one unclipped and out of the way. And this one's just a 2-hook rig, also a loop rig. Still with a 6-ounce grip on there. There we go. Similar length snoods, same size hooks, I think maybe size 4s actually on that one. We're going to get this one whacked out. Same sort of distance as we just had. Check my mags actually. Loosen them off a little bit. There we go. Oops. Get the lead on the deck. There we have it. That's gone about maybe a little bit further than the last one. A little bit of an overrun. So we'll see if the Plaice are out there. And as usual, set the ratchet, loosen that drag. So what I'm going to do now, I'll rebait that other rig so it's ready to go and we reel in, and in a little bit we'll check the one that's gone down the side. Well, let's take a look at this one I've got dropped down in close. Haven't seen a single bit of action on the tip. I have been watching it. Let's have a look. Has anything had a go at the baits? Not a touch. So you can see the difference here. When we reeled in that one, I chucked out a distance, well I say a distance, moderate distance. You could see that the fish had had a suck on the worms, but look at that. That is absolutely untouched. All 3 hooks are like that. So this is going to go straight back down. Normally I'd put fresh bait on, but because of the state of the tide, I'm not expecting much to be around at the minute. I'll save the bit of bait I've got for later on in the session. And these can go straight back down there. Not a single thing has shown any interest in those baits. So there we go, back on the bottom, get that drag set. It's a bit loose, it's better. And we're back out in the water. So there we go, people. There's no sign of life yet, but we're still early in the session, and we've always got a chance. Stealing Wayne's line again. Well folks, it's been a long time since I last recorded anything. Low tide was about 40 minutes ago, so there's a chance now of fish coming on the feed, even though we've got a tiny tide today. But we're going to reel the Plaice rig back in and see if anything's had a go at these baits. We saw earlier when I reeled in my first chuck that something had a suck at the worms. Since then, we haven't seen any sign of life in the sea. Neither me nor Alex, who's with me. And I can tell you there's no fish on here, but it's going to be interesting to take a look at these baits when we get it out of the water. I've got my 3-hook loop rig is clipped up, ready to go back out, all baited up. So that's going to go back out there. And once I've checked this one, we'll have a look at the one that's down the side as well. So I'm using worms straight down the side, whereas Alex is using squid. And neither of us have had any interest yet. But it's early days. Sometimes you can be down here. Look at that, my hooks have been absolutely stripped clean. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Hopefully there's not crabs out there, but look, both hooks come back like that. Oops. So we get the 3-hook rig sent out instead of this 2-hook one. And we'll see what happens. So I'll just get this clipped up. So that's all ready to be cast out. So here we go, look, there's my 6-ounce grip with those lovely, juicy baits ready to go back out. I need a slightly shorter drop, there we are. It's always a little bit awkward casting down here. Again, no thumbie today because we're not really whacking it. So these are good to go. There we are, a little bit closer in that one. That's at about 60 yards. Let's see if there's any life there, eh? So we're going to have a look at the other rod now, the one that's in the gap. We'll see if anything's touched these baits. Last time you saw me putting down baits that had already been out. This time we're definitely going to go with fresh ones. Look at that, still absolutely untouched. So we need to definitely wait to see if these fish are going to come on the feed today. But I'm going to get these bits of bait off. I've got 3 more pieces ready to go on a bait needle. I haven't got a spare rig for just dropping down the side. Given each one takes me about 15 minutes to make, I'm quite happy not to be double patting, as we call it, for the one that's just down the side there today. It's not like I'm after a big fat bream or anything that I really want to catch. I'm just scratching around to see what life is down there. And so far, we've seen there's no life down there at all. Oh, when you start getting as old as me, you struggle to get the needle in the hook in the bait needle. Alex has just reeled it in. Let's see if anything's had a go at his bait. Oh yeah, something's definitely had a go at Alex's bait as well. He's got some left on his hooks, but there's definitely been munched. It's got a bite taken out of it. There we are. Right, just give my hands a little wipe. Oh, my bait needle's gone on the ground. I'll pick that up in a minute. So we're going to get this down. I might try this one just a tiny bit further out, given that there's no sign of life whatsoever close in. So I'm just going to go. There we are. That's now about 10 yards out, if that. Certainly not straight down the side of the wall. There we go. Alex says he's caught something. Let's turn the camera around. Oh, look at this.
I've never seen that before.
Is that coming out on the camera? Yeah, that's good. It's like a little snail. There we go. That's what's eating our black lug, guys.
It's hooked itself. Look, it's
Hasn't
taken
it?
right in.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll survive.
Let's put it back, shall we?
Yeah. Does that beat a blank?
Yeah.
There we go. Beats a blank, everyone. Anyway, we'll catch you in a bit. Well, I've just had a bite on the one that's close in. That's the right-hand rod here. So as I was saying, it might start picking up the brown now because the tide's coming in. But yeah, we just had a little pull down. Nice twitchy bite. It's actually given me a bit of slack line. So that was, if you saw the rod tip move then, that was me. See if it does it again. I had a few little, very little tentative twitches that I wasn't sure were bites. And then I definitely got a bite just before I turned the camera on. So this is on that 3-hook flapper with the 8-inch snoods. Half a worm on each hook. It doesn't seem to be there now, but at least that's a sign of life. Let's just have a little lift into it. Sometimes we get lots of little pout down the side. And don't hook them. No, I don't think it's on here. It was only a little bite. Let's see what's happened to the bait, if anything. So it's gone a bit globby around the bottom hook, but I think something might have pulled that top hook. Yeah. So I'll take the bait off the top hook. It's not been out too long. Let's just have a little look at the other hooks here. So that looks all right. Oops. A little bit tangled. Yeah, the bottom hook's fine. So we'll just get half a worm. I've already got a few bits of worm chopped up here. There we go, half a worm. Pop that back on the top hook and we get it back down there. Hopefully that's a sign that things are going to start picking up. So there we go, good to go. That's pretty much back where it was. The drag is set and we're good to go. Chuck that bit of worm in. Right, hopefully that is the beginning of the fish coming on the feed. Well, we've got a bite here on the right, the left-hand rod, not the right-hand rod, the left-hand one, the Plaice rig. Definitely looked like a Plaicey kind of bite. It's gone a couple of times now. But we know the deal with Plaice is we want to give it a bit of time to take that bait down. So I'm just going to give it, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely biting. So I'm going to pick up, reel into this, see if it's on it. It's been moving a little bit. Just lift into it. Right, it's not on there, so I'm going to pop that back down. Often they come back. That was me being a bit too keen there, that was. Let's watch, see if this bite comes back. Let's see what the time is. It's, about an hour and a half after low tide now. So that bite, that's on the 3-hook loop rig that I've got chucked out with those lug on. Anyway, if the bite's still there, I'll bring you back in a minute. Oh, has Alex had a bite? Alex has got a bite. Let's turn you around and we'll see if there's any more action. Oh, yeah, he's got a fish on there.
Oh, wow.
Looks like it's fighting back. If that camera picked up what Alex just said, I'll bleep that out. Yeah, there's definitely something on there. Let's go over, take a look. What have we got? Yeah, lovely Plaice.
Well done.
So there we go, guys.
There we go. Got that one in there. What a place. What a place.
What a Plaice.
There's dinner.
Look at that. There we go. Alex on the fish.
First place in 35 years.
So just in case the mic didn't pick that up, that was the first place in 35 years.
Yeah.
So there we go, people. So that place Alex just had, that was 31 centimetres. He's going to keep that, take it home. This one, the bite was a little while ago, so we're going to reel it in now. And I've got my 2-hook loop rig baited up, ready to go out instead. So this is it. Alex is on the fish. That's what we want to see. And the target species, a plaice. I'll be able to see which hook my bite went for when we get this up the wall. Nearly there. Bottom hook and top hook have been attacked. So there we have it. Middle one, nothing showing any interest in that. So as usual, unclip this one, get the spare rig clipped on. So that 2-hook loop rig's all ready to go. And we'll get this chucked out. But yeah, so the fish have come on the feed. Now the tide is moving. There we go, back out in the water with a fairly quick turnaround. So ratchet set, drag set, and we're back fishing. So there we go, Alex 1, Gem 0. Well, we've got another plaice bite on the left-hand rod. We've just had 2 really nice pull downs. So we'll see if this fish is still about. Pressure's on now because Alex has had one. He's beating me using rigs I gave him, of course. But yeah, so there's definitely a few plaice out there, as I thought there might be. It looks like Alex might have just had another bite as well. It's because the pressure's on him now, he wants to keep in the lead. But I've got my 3-hook loop rig here already baited up to go back out when this one comes in. So it's nice to still be getting a few bites, even though the tides are pretty terrible today. It's around about a 5 metre tide, which is very small for this part of the world. I'm using 5-day-old lug. In fact, as it's so sunny, I'm actually going to move that rig out of the sun because it's starting to look a bit dry. And just lay that down there along the edge of the wall so I don't tread on it. So there we go, 2 nice pull downs. I turn the camera on and the plaice goes away. I'm pretty sure it was a plaice bite. We just need it to come back, you know, we need it to come back. If it doesn't come back, I'll turn the camera off and just leave it sitting there because we've got another hook. Yeah, I'll bring you back if the plaice turns up. Well, that plaice bite hasn't come back. I've left it for a little while. So we're going to reel it in and we get 3 baits whacked out instead. A guy further up the arm just walked along, said he's had a little plaice. Well, I didn't say little, he's had a plaice. And someone further up's had a bass, but we don't know how big the bass is. But sooner or later, I'm hoping we're going to hook up one of these plaice. They are certainly very tentative. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's because the tide's so small. Anyway, we get this one in, take a look at the bait, see which hook it's had a go at. Still nothing showing interest in that other one apart from that one bite I mentioned earlier. Well, it's a bit tangled up. And that's something's had a go at the top hook there. In fact, that didn't unclip, which is always disappointing when that happens. But yeah, the top hook is the one that's been sucked a little bit, and that'll be why we didn't hook our plaice. So we'll get this unclipped. I'll sort that little tangling out in a minute. The most important thing is to get the next lot of baits out. So here we go. Get the drop length right. There we are, straight out goes the Plaice's tea. And there we go, the baits are back in the water. So let's see if we get another bite. Let's see if we get another bite. Right guys, Alex is in again. Definitely looked like another Plaice bite.
Has it gone?
Is it on there? Yeah, it's there. Not as big as the first. But there we go, another Plaice. Look at that, I'm being well outfished today. There we go, let's take a look up at the camera. There we go. Alex's second place of the session. Show me how it's done. There we go, there's your catch.
Thanks.
Pop him down.
What do I do now?
Nice and gentle. So there we go, that's the second place. I still keep getting little bites and missing them, but there we go, the fish are here. So there guys, there's Alex's Plaice. This one's coming in at 25 centimetres, so too small to keep. We're going to get him chucked back down the side. There we go. Yeah, off he swims. He was straight down to the bottom, just like that. There we go, set free. We'll come and catch him next year. Well guys, I'm definitely getting shown up today. Look, we have catch of the day on Alex's squid. Look at this. It's a fine specimen of a crab.
Hey. Holding
On and then releasing the squid. So now we know that our hooks getting stripped earlier could have been these pesky things. It's not a spider crab, so we don't get the spider crab song, but it is a crab, so it's chucking back. I don't know, maybe we should have a bit of a song. Spider crab, friendly neighbourhood spider crab. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look above your head. I know it wasn't a spider crab. That's from in. Alex has got a fish. He's just had a really nice bite. Is it on there? No, maybe it's got off.
Unless it's swimming with it.
Yeah. If it's a bass, it could be swimming with it. No, it's off.
No,
It's off.
that was a lovely one.
I'm certainly getting shown up today, aren't I, guys?
Oh, it's a shame.
Which hook's it gone for? Top hook.
Top hook.
Yeah. So that's 2 fish on the top hook. And now a bite on the top hook. So anyway, I'm going to keep trying because I am blanking. You know what it's like? I think this is what you call revenge for our last session. See you in a minute. Well, Alex is just talking about the bite that got away. It was a decent bite as well. Well, I have put 3 bits of worm on my bait needle, and we are going to have a look at the one that's in close. I might put it out about 20 yards this time because there doesn't seem to be anything down here other than that little tiny bite I had earlier. No, nothing. Something's had a little go at the bottom hook, but the other 2 hooks are completely untouched. But yeah, something's had a munch on the bottom one. Chuck that bit of bait back. Fresh baits on all hooks. Take these old bits of worm off. Oops. Helps if you don't drop it. And then get the bait needle. This is where I wish I was 20. Oh, I got it on straight away. Look at that. So even though these are fresh worms, I have put a bit of bait elastic on them because they are definitely past their best. Being their 5th day. Right, so that's 3 fresh baits. Skanky hands, but I'm just going to cast out anyway. Ready to go. I think if I leave the drop net at home one day, we might catch something decent. You know, when you think something's putting a curse on it. That's probably about 25, 30 yards out. See if we can pick something up there. Just make sure I've got contact with the lead. That's it. Drag set, so we're good to go. Oh, a little bit tighter. Still tighten up a little bit more. That's better. A little bit of a bend in the tip. So now we just watch and we wait. Well folks, we've got the dredger going back out. It's all gone a bit quiet again. Alex has just reeled in, something's had a go at his bait, but we didn't see any bites. So I've got my 2-hook rig baited up and ready to go out. And we're going to reel in the Plaice rig to see if there's anything on here. Now, because it has gone quiet, Alex is actually having a bit of a change of tactics and he's about to throw out a squid, a whole squid, nothing but the squid. And that's going out. So we'll see if anything's had a go at the baits on here, but I've been watching the rod tip quite carefully and I haven't noticed any touches now, which is a bit of a shame because we had that flurry of activity where I failed to hook up. I mean, having said that, this one does feel a tiny bit heavier reeling it in, but I don't know why that is. It certainly doesn't feel like there's a fish on the end. Just there's a little bit of extra weight for some reason. We'll see when it gets close if there is anything on here. Could just be there's a little bit of tide pool now, whereas there wasn't earlier. Let's have a look. Ah, something's had a go at the bottom hook and the middle hook. Yeah, bottom. So let's take a look at that. Hopefully that boat noise isn't too distracting. But we can see something's had a really good suck on that bait. And the middle hook has fared a little better, but something's still sucked on there. So we're going to get this one unclipped and chuck out the other rig. So I'm ready to chuck these baits out. As you can probably see, I'll just move the camera a touch. As you can probably see, the sun is shining straight at the camera, which means it's going to be shining straight in my eyes when I'm casting it out. I'm going to put this one in a bit closer because that's where Alex picked up his place. So a little gentle flick this time. And that's gone about 45-50 yards. So let's see, oops, put the ratchet on a bit too soon there. Let's see what we pick up on this chuck. I'll sort that other rig out that I've just reeled in, get it rebaited, and then we'll check the one that's close in as well. Well, what can I say? It's going hard going, but it's definitely time for a cup of tea. I've got my jet boil set up. Just get this lit. Ooh, that's a light. Get the cup on there. I've already put water in the cup. So get that on. Just line that up. And we turn up the gas. I knew it was going to be hard fishing today. I was under no illusions that things were going to be difficult with these tiny tides. And this beautiful weather may not be the best for the fishing either. No chop on the water at all. But you know, there's always autumn Plaice around this part of the world. Just maybe not on the smallest tide with 5-day-old bait. But some people would say, well, why are you bothering? I always think it beats being at home, being out fishing, wherever it is, whether it's down Brighton Marina, Norway, down Eastbourne, anywhere really. Just to beat sitting around at home, doesn't it? So anyway, I definitely need a cup of tea. I haven't had a cup of tea since I left home, and I'm a massive caffeine addict. We've been here for fishing for 4 hours, maybe just over, and had those few bites that you've seen on camera, or not seen on camera because they were before I turned the camera on, but I've talked about them. And yeah, even Alex hasn't been getting bites. He's out fishing me, not getting any bites anymore. He's got his whole squid out now. I think he's just putting some fresh bait on his Plaice rig as well. But we're both going to have a cup of tea in a minute once this water's boiled and just chill out. Look at that, it's coming up to the boil now. Jet boil's a fantastic bit of kit. I always used to bring a flask fishing with me, but now on my longer sessions, the jet boil comes along. It's actually lighter to carry the jet boil and some gas and plastic bottles of water than it is to carry my big flask. Cool. I've got some water here for you, Alex. All boiled and ready. Just need a cup. A little bit of milk in there. And we'll leave that to brew. Cheers, everyone. Right, you've probably seen you're at a different camera angle. I've tried to keep the sun out your eyes because I'm, you know, thoughtful like that. I'm going to check the Plaice baits. It's been extremely, extremely quiet for quite some time now. And this feels oddly light, which is quite strange. Like the grip lead wasn't gripped. And it doesn't feel like there's weight on there. Which suggests to me there's not any tide pull at the minute. Which is a bit of a shame, but that would explain why the bites have completely died off. Oh, caught on the wall. There we go, let's free that. Our top hook has been stripped. Bottom hook looks fairly untouched. Well, I say stripped, there's still a little bit of bait left on there, but not a lot. Oops, caught on the wall. Get that hook out the wall, don't want to blunt it too much, do we? So that was the 2-hook loop rig that's just come in. Now we're going to get the 3-hook loop rig chucked out. There we are, all clipped up, all ready to go. No movement at all on the other rod. Now I'm chucking that 20 yards out. There's nothing happening. There. Right, pop that on the deck. Little gentle flick. A little bit further than I wanted. That's out about 60 yards. That's on the bottom. But yeah, I'm certainly trying today, but so far we haven't had any reward for all the effort. Get that drag set just right. Well, what should we do? Should we check the other one? That's probably sensible, isn't it? Let's have a look, see if there's anything on here. So it's still the 3-hook flapper I'm fishing on this with the little short snoods. There it comes, up the side. Well, what's happened? 2 hooks with the bait still on, and the bottom hook has had the bait taken off that. Stripped clean, I'm guessing that's crabs. Alex did have that crab earlier. Yeah, so I'm going to get some fresh baits. We're going to get those put on and we'll get this sent back down. So first thing I'm going to do is find my bait needle and get 3 pieces of worm. And you know what? I might actually put whole worms on these hooks. So let's get 3 worms. Because these worms aren't going to last. And given how slow it's been, I have plenty of bait left, which wasn't the situation I wanted. I was hoping we were going to bag up. So let's get these heads off. Now I'll cut the tails off. Oops, it's getting very sticky, these baits. So there we are. Heads and tails off. Bait needle at the ready. I'll start off doing the bottom hook because that had no bait left on it. Oops. So bottom hook there. Don't want that weight to fall. God, this is a gruesome one. Look at that. Manky, manky hand. Definitely going to be wiping my hands before I cast this one back out. Got that worm on the bait needle. Yuck. These worms are most definitely sticky. Because this is just a flapper rig without not being clipped down, I haven't got any bait stops to worry about. And get the top hook within reach. I'm going to have to give my bait needle a wash when I get home. Normally I do that between trips anyway, but this is particularly sticky. What with it being slightly older than I'd like bait. So there we go, 3 hooks rebaited. Chop those tails and heads down the side. Give my all too disgusting hands a quick wipe. And let's get these baits back out. So maybe I'll go for 30 yards this time, eh? Try different distances. See if I can put us on a fish. There we are, that's about right. That was about 30 yards. Drag is set. And we are back out fishing. Oh, got to tighten that line up. There we go. Well, I thought I'd just give you a little update. About 15 minutes ago, the warden walked up the arm. We'd already paid him our money hours and hours ago when we got here this morning. But I thought I'll ask him, has much been caught? And he went. So it's not just us, it's been very, very quiet down the arm today. He did say further up that way in one of the really high bays, a guy had a mullet out, which was great to hear, but we're not here fishing for mullet. We don't have the right rigs or bait for that. We're trying to catch plaice. At least Alex has had those two, so it hasn't been completely dead, but it's been very, very hard going. We've still got a bit of time left, still got a chance to catch a fish, and we're going to keep trying. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, folks, it's been quite a long time since I filmed reeling in, because quite frankly, there hasn't been a lot to see when I've been reeling in. I've got another rig baited, of course, ready to go. Let's get this grip lead moving. Is it going to be a checkbook and pen for me today? I've got about an hour left, I think. I haven't checked the time particularly recently. The arm is shutting at 6 today. And I'll definitely be gone before 6, because that's when we have to be off the arm, not when we have to start packing up. Well, something's had the bait off the bottom hook and something has definitely had to go at the top hook as well. So it's a double, I would say it's a double shot of bites, certainly not a double shot of fish, sadly. Right, let's get this other rig clipped on. There we are, all clipped up, ready to go. But there we go, look. Juicy baits, ready to launch out. Not quite sure why the fish don't want to touch them at all today. I know they're not the best quality baits in the world because they're 5 days old, but still. I'd have expected more than nothing for all this effort. Right, let's get these out. Let's just hit the bottom. Oh, looks like my rod's twisted around a bit. I'll line those eyes up in a second. There we go. There we are. That's it. What is happening? There's no fish in the sea. There's no fish in the sea for me. Right, the right hand rod, that's the one closest to the camera now. I just had a bite on it. It's out about 20 yards. Oh, there's a little pull. That was definitely a little bite. If I had to hazard a guess at species, I'd probably say pout, but it's not exactly close to the wall. Come on, come on. Let's beat a blank. That's it, one bite and then it doesn't do it again. It's typical, isn't it? Come on, fish. Got the adrenaline going, that did. Where's it gone? Alex thinks he's got a bite as well. There we go. It's certainly got chilly down here. It's getting towards the end of the day, so night's drawing in, of course. Yeah. Is that all it's going to give me? One little bite that I don't catch on camera because the camera was off, and then nothing. Here's a question for you. Have you noticed when using bait you think is at the end of its possible use, like me today with my 5-day-old worms, that sometimes you get one bite and the fish swims off, and that seems to happen more when you're using old bait than lovely fresh bait. I think it happens. I wonder if they taste the old bait, think, oh no, I didn't want manky old bait today, I wanted fillet steak bait, you know, the prime juicy fresh bait. I don't know, maybe it makes a difference or not, I don't know. But I certainly seem to notice more bites that seem to be single little plucks like I just had when I'm using old manky sticky bait. Oh, Alex has just had a failure to unclip. That happens to us all, it happened to me earlier. But I want this bite to come back. Well, the bite's not come back. Let's get some baits ready to rebait that rig. It might be its last drop down. I might pack that rod up and just go down to fishing with one. Because I have been trying hard today. No reward. I'll give those worms a slap. I'm tensed up a little bit. One of them's quite small, so I'll leave that whole. And the other one I'll chop in half. Sticky worms. Chop the bigger one in half. Get these on a bait needle. Oops, getting caught up in the elastic. There we are. We'll get these on the baiting needle. Once I've got this baited up, oops, slippy at the edge. Once I've got this baited up, we will have a look to see which hook was attacked by the fish. Is there anything on the end? Nothing. But it looks like two of my hooks have been stripped clean. Yep. Two stripped clean hooks. Maybe it is a little pout down there as well as crabs. Something little having a munch. Anyway, we'll get some fresh baits on there and make this the last drop with this rod. I'll keep fishing the other one for a bit. I've still got a rig baited up, ready to go out on that. Well, folks, we're going to reel the Plaice rod in now and check the baits and get that chucked out for one last cast. And then I'm going to pack up the one that's close in. So let's see, is there going to be a fish? I think we can all probably guess the answer, but we don't know for sure until the baits are back. Of course, well gripped, I can tell you that. This is the better of my two grip leads that are on there. I've got some quite knackered grip leads at the moment. I really need to get some more sorted out. I do make them myself sometimes, but I haven't had time for a long time to do it. So I've been buying them off my mate who makes them. And once winter sets in, my garage is just too cold to melt the lead and keep the lead mould warm. So if I do make some more myself, it probably won't be till at least the spring now. So leader knots nicely at the side. And that is pretty untouched. The middle bait looks like something might have had a suck there, but nothing of significance. Alex's are untouched. So there we have it. That's that rig's last chuck. Now we'll stick out the 2-hook loop rig for its last go at trying to pick us up that fish. But look at those lovely juicy worms on there. Probably too far from the camera for you to see. But trust me, they're juicy, lovely worms for 5-day-old worms. Especially the one on the bottom hook, looks well good. I'm going to put this one out less far, closer in. Better way of saying that. Little gentle flick on this one. There we go. Right, that is down. There we go. Set the drag. You know the drill. Right. Let's get this one in. See if anything's had a munch on these baits. It can be quite hard going sometimes, can't it, when you've been fishing for like 6 hours or whatever it's been. 7 hours, I think. and you haven't caught a single thing. And I only had a few tiny bites. Untouched those baits. Right, let's get these off the hooks, get this rod pack down, and I'll bring you back in a bit. Well, guys, Alex is into a fish. I'm going to take the camera down the arm. We can see what he's got. Hey. Look at that. There we go. Plaice number 3. Hey. Let's take a look at this one.
Hat trick.
Yep. There we go, guys. I think they might be getting smaller. But it's a fish. And that's 3 more fish than I've had. So there we go. Look at that. Right. We'll get this guy unhooked and we'll get him chucked back. So there we go. That is the 3rd Plaice that Alex has caught. That's about 23 or 24 centimetres. We're going to get this guy chucked back. But what can I say? It has been a very hard day fishing down Brighton Marina. So it's a big fat blank for me. 3 fish for Alex. But I think, to be fair, he deserved a bit of revenge after our session down Eastbourne from the other day, which was the video that went up before this one, where I beat him 7-0. So let's not forget that. And I had 4 species. But today, yeah, I've tried my best. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the rough with the smooth and this slow session down the marina. Until next time, when I see you again, that's it for now. Cheers for watching.